demo, we're going to talk about LoreVault from Evolve CX. LoreVault is a structured signal intelligence. It ingests unstructured data across strategic domains, extracts deterministic behavioral signals, and converts them into operational insight, training intelligence, and AI-ready corpora. This is not just transcript search, it is domain-specific signal extraction. Quick clarification, this isn't a QA scorecard tool. Quality assurance platforms focus on scoring agents against predefined criteria. LoreVault focuses on extracting systemic behavior patterns across the dataset. LoreVault currently supports 5 strategic ingestion domains: customer interaction intelligence, operational workflow intelligence, knowledge integrity intelligence, revenue intelligence, risk and compliance intelligence. Each domain has its own signal engine. Each produces a different type of structured output. And long-term, each feeds its own domain-specific micro-model strategy. Instead of training one large general model and hoping it performs well everywhere, you build smaller, focused models grounded in the right signals for the right operational function. That's how you move from generic AI to precision AI. Or said more simply, your data doesn't just produce insight, it becomes the foundation for specialized AI systems tailored to your business. In this demo, we're going to focus on customer interaction domain. Moving over to vaults, I'm logged in as super admin, so we see the vaults in aggregate. The vaults, or customer workspaces for each customer, have isolated data and configuration. As an admin, for your respective vault, you would land directly in your vault environment. Here we are inside the auto insurance demo vault. Within each vault, intelligence is organized into knowledge spaces. Each knowledge space aligns to an ingestion domain. This one is customer interaction intelligence. That means every transcript ingested here is automatically scored across a deterministic signal framework. Escalation risk, customer effort, churn intent, trust erosion, digital friction, and resolution confidence. We're not tagging keywords, we're extracting behavioral structure. QA tools typically evaluate whether an agent followed a script. This framework evaluates how interactions behave at scale across the entire dataset. Taking a deeper look at the datasets. This dataset contains 100 inbound insurance calls. Every interaction is scored on a 0 to 100 deterministic behavioral index, which means the scoring is consistent and repeatable, that the same transcript will always produce the same score. For resolution confidence, 0 to 39 indicates a weak closure, 40 to 69 indicates mid-confidence closure, and 70 and above indicates a strong reinforced closure. This dataset averages 52 out of those 100 docs. That places most interactions in the mid-confidence band. That means customers are getting answers, but they are not consistently leaving with reinforced reassurance. More importantly, only 1% of those transcripts exceed 70. That is a maturity signal. It tells us we are resolving issues technically and customers are getting answers, but they are not always leaving confident that everything is fully handled. This scoring is not sentiment. It detects patterns in how conversations actually unfold. Traditional QA tells you who needs coaching. This tells you what systemic behavior patterns are driving outcomes. And that consistency is what makes it something you can actually trust and be comfortable leading with. That's where a lot of models struggle. For each data set, there is 2 ways in which you can drill down to see additional details. One is view, and the other is the sources. We're going to take a look at the sources now. In your sources, you'll see details about the 100 transcripts that make up this data set. What's important here is that you can see how every data set shows exactly what sources were indexed, but sensitive data, including PII and PCI, is automatically detected and redacted before being indexed for search and analysis. So nothing sensitive enters the model layer. You can open redaction details and see these categories without exposing the values themselves. This is controlled intelligence, evidence-backed, governed, and traceable. Next, we're going to take a look at the View Dataset option. You can see the same elements that were in the summary field, but broken out now, allowing you to see additional insights. We're going to drill down into escalation risks. Each of these transcripts has a quantified score. You can see some in the 90s, meaning strong escalation signals. We're not guessing why. Here the excerpts show repetition language, requests for supervisors, and contradictions between prior information and current answers. When you see multiple high scores tied to supervisor requests, that's not just agent behavior. This is where most QA systems stop, at the coaching the agent level. LoreVault goes one level up and makes it visible whether the issue was policy clarity, workflow design or handoff problems, or expectation misalignment. This isn't anecdotal. It's measurable behavior across the dataset. It's systemic. When 8% of calls are flagged with escalation risk, you can start asking operational questions. Is this tied to a specific queue? Is it a specific policy type? A specific workflow? Is it a process issue, a training opportunity, or a workflow problem? Instead of listening to random calls, you can isolate escalation drivers instantly. That changes how QA, training, and operations prioritize effort. Now let's move into chat. You'll see that we are in training mode. This is the default mode for regular users. In fact, a regular user would not see the option to change it. It's designed for frontline teams, their supervisors. The admins have this view and can toggle between the two. Users will see other chat options available, and if you hover over them, you'll get more information on how they change the response. Ask gives you a straight answer, multi-perspective shows you different angles, and tactical tells you exactly what to do next. Now let's ask a coaching question. What should I avoid saying during a claims dispute to prevent escalation? Notice the header and the evidence badge. You can see that this is in signal analysis and that the response is in training. And you can see in the evidence coverage, in this case, 80% across 8 sources are supporting the answer to this question. That matters. This answer isn't generated from the internet, it's grounded in specific transcripts inside this knowledge space. The response breaks into 3 clear sections: what to avoid, what to say or do instead, and why it works. This isn't generic best practice, it's language derived from real interactions that scored high for escalation risk. You'll notice the system doesn't just tell you what not to say, it shows replacement phrasing, specific alternatives, more effective language patterns. This is where it goes beyond QA. QA might flag that a call has been escalated. Training mode shows the language mechanics that contributed to it and how to adjust them. Now, if we expand on the evidence section, you'll see the data set that was searched, a number of different sources, and you'll see the relevant scores associated with each of those. That traceability is critical. And we'll open up one transcript as an example. And here you can see the actual excerpt from that transcript that supports the answer to this particular question. Supervisors can validate insight, training leaders can build workshops around it, and teams can coach from evidence, not just opinion. Training mode improves performance, it strengthens scripts, it reduces escalation probability, and over time, it moves your resolution confidence band upward. Now, as an admin, I can toggle into investigation mode. Training mode improves people. Investigation mode improves the system. Instead of asking what to say, we're going to ask, show me transcripts with mid-resolution confidence, 40 to 69, and identify what prevented them from reaching high. Notice that our response headers changed. We're still in signal analysis, but now response mode is an investigation. Our evidence coverage is now 100% across 10 sources. This isn't coaching language, this is operational diagnosis. Now the system filters by signal band and analyzes structural patterns across those interactions. And the response shifts in structure. We get findings, likely drivers, improvement initiatives, how to measure, and next queries to run. This is not just describing behavior, it's translating signal into action. We can see billing discrepancies, extended hold times, system errors, policy confusion, and partial resolutions. Those aren't random anecdotes, they're clustered patterns. Then it goes one level deeper, likely drivers, connecting those findings to root causes. Improvement initiatives translates into backlog level actions, digital fixes, process redesign, training adjustments, cross-department communication improvements, and critically, each initiative includes how to measure impact. That's the shift. This isn't summary, it's initiative generation grounded in evidence. And when we open the evidence drawer, you see the data set searched, the signal band filter, and the relevant scores, and the exact chunk excerpts that support the findings. This is what makes this executive ready. You can trace every recommendation back to the source interaction with full coverage, no speculation. Investigation mode doesn't just surface insight, it creates a prioritized roadmap for your own data. So the model is simple. Training mode optimizes behavior. Investigation mode optimizes operations. Most tools stop at coaching, others stop at dashboards. LoreVault connects signal to insight, insight to initiative, and initiative to memorable behavioral change. It doesn't just summarize conversations, it structures them. And that's how you turn unstructured interaction data into operational intelligence that you can act on. If you'd like to see this applied to your own environment, visit us at www.evolvecx.ai or message us directly at salesecx@evolvecx.ai. We offer a proof of concept engagement where we ingest your data and demonstrate the power of LoreVault in your real operating context. Not just a demo data set, but your transcripts, your workflows, your signals. That's where the real value becomes clear.